Hey everyone, Kyle here with Kyle Kinda Vlogs. Welcome to the channel and thank you so much for clicking on this here video. We have made it. We are here where I ended up the last video. I just really can't get enough of this deck spot though. Look at this, a 360 camera here. It's pretty freaking fantastic. I have thoroughly enjoyed spending time up here. We actually had full moon last night right over there, and it came up and I was like reflecting perfectly off of the water, so it's been nice. I'm not gonna lie, it's been very nice. And so actually I-10, you might can see some semis whizzing by behind me, is right back there. So before, if you're on that half of the park, you do get a ton of road noise. Back here it's super quiet. I'm on the deck right now. You can hear the neighbors AC over there cranking as it is warm. We reached the mid 80s here today in North Florida, and it's been warm. I think every year I've been to this event, it's been warm. I don't know that I've ever been here and it actually got cold. But yeah, it's a good spot. It's a good spot. So what we're doing today, I'm going to walk you around the campground, kind of show you what's going on. I'm actually getting a really late start today. I actually went and played pickleball this morning, drove the almost hour to Valdosta to the north of here. Actually had a really surprisingly good pickleball facility there. I had to get some groceries anyway, so I went to Walmart and I figured, why not throw in a game of pickleball? I'm not getting to play as much as I used to or as I had been, so it was nice to play with some folks for a little bit. But yeah, guys, honestly, I just cannot get enough of this view up here. It's been absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed it. As the puppies are letting us know, or letting their presence be known down there. So yeah, we're gonna walk around and show you what all is happening here at the Reagan's Family Campground, and gonna make a bit of dinner here in a little bit. Tonight's mom's night, so I'm making something I don't normally make when Jen's around because she doesn't like it. So it's just me and the kids absolutely love it, and it's actually I like it a lot too. So we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be covering all that here in this here video. And again, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you as always. And let me get down up off of my high horse here, or my high deck, the bus luggage rack as we call it, and let's get this video moving. I love the trees here. That is one thing I do remember about this campground that sticks out to me, is the trees here are so cool. They have the most beautiful, some really old live oaks. Like that one there, I think it's massive. Like even some of the branches up high are just absolutely massive. They've got several really beautiful oaks along in here. They had a really bad storm here. I believe the one that ended up going up through Asheville, that whole, western North Carolina area a couple of years ago, came through here and just obliterated a lot of the trees here. Like you can see they just still got piles of them where they've had them blow down and have had to remove them off the property. I'll show you more when we get back here a little more. It absolutely devastated parts of this area. I mean, I guess the silver lining, or the only decent good thing about it, is this area is pretty remote. So I mean, there's not a ton of people here, so it didn't have quite the effect as it did in Asheville. Asheville was just the flooding, or that whole area up there, that I-40 corridor up and around Asheville. The flooding just devastated it. So yeah, this park is used to be like the main draw to it was ATVs. So I guess they own quite a bit of land here, and I'll show you in a minute. But apparently they have stopped allowing ATVs for the time being. The way I understand it, the park had recently, within the last year or something, changed ownership. So I think the new owners are kind of revamping a lot of the things and changing things up a bit. So ATVs apparently not allowed right now. So yeah, there's like these little, it's not like a jetty, because jetty I feel like is salt water, but there's like little ponds and lakes and bodies of water all over the place. Now you can see the water is pretty stinking low at the moment. So you've got like this main, I don't know if this is a pond. Maybe this be considered a lake. I don't know. I don't actually know what signifies a lake over a pond. Then you have another section here. You have like a piece of land, a little strip of land, and then right over here is another lake. Or honestly, this is all but dried up. As you can tell, it is not a whole lot of water down there anymore. Very old Florida looking part of the state. You're at the point of the state where it's very hard to signify Florida from South Georgia, North Florida from South Georgia. They look almost identical, so it's kind of tough to tell them apart. Yeah, that section there, I mean, you can tell at one point the water was way up there, but it has receded to next to nothing. Alright guys, I was hoping we'd get some of these. I saw 5 gators on my walk yesterday. Can you see his head? Right there, his head's just popping out above the water. I actually just had one scurry off in the water right over here. Right over here somewhere. There's one there, and he's one actually swimming. Oh wow, there's more. This place is infested with them. I have yet to see a very big one. But the old saying where the baby gators, mommy gator is probably close by. You can see one. You see that some like, I don't know, like some type of grass there. His head is barely sticking up there. Actually, there's a couple turtles in there with him. His head is barely peeking up. Yeah, I haven't seen any really of any. Oh, it just went under. Yeah, but that water, and then there's one kind of just gliding across the water there ever so slowly. So that's 3. We're gonna keep count. I've seen 3 so far. Oh, 4. I'm gonna go ahead and give you this one while I'm here. I'll zoom in and on the video some, but he's right over there. Another about the same size. They're all been pretty similar in size. He is right over there. If I had a better camera, could really get you some good shots. We're up to 4. Yeah, I saw 5 yesterday. I'm already at 4. I'm pretty high hopes here. Yeah, so this is the island. It's a very unique property. I'm very curious to what it was at one time, because the way it's laid out. So there's like this where I just left you guys. It splits, and there's a trail that runs along there, and then there's a fork, and it comes to this area here. It's like a little island area out here. They have some disc golf net over here, or what, I don't know what you call it, a disc golf hole. I don't know if you call it a hole in disc golf. You know, you get the, oh, there's another one. There's number 5. Look at him. There's number 5. It's a baby. Getting some sun right there on the bank. That's one of the smaller ones I've seen though. It's just chilling. They're everywhere. I've never seen this many gators here. It is, I think, unseasonably warm. So I'm assuming they're probably out moving a little earlier this year than they typically would be, because they are definitely a lot of them. Yeah, there's the disc golf net. Does sneak up on him, or is he gone? I think he's gone. They're very skittish. Or is he right there? I can't tell if that's a gator or not. I'll zoom in either way. Yeah, that's a gator. I think it's his head. Get his head popped up a little above water, just a little bit. So a lot of you know, I was born and raised in Florida. Spent until my mid-30s in Central Florida. Seen a lot of alligators in my life. You know, and when people come to Florida for the first time, they're nervous about the alligator thing. They're skittish. They're worried about it. Like, they feel like alligators are just going to come out of the swamps, or if they're near a swampy area, which is not hard to find in Florida, by the way, if you've never been, that they're just going to jump out and eat you, which is reasonable. I'm not knocking those people, I'm not making fun of those people, because it's a very reasonable thing, because these things are gigantic, prehistoric reptiles that have massive teeth and massive jaws. But traditionally, or typically, it's got to be a really unique situation to have a bad encounter with an alligator. It really does. The timing has to be very perfect, because they don't eat a lot. They're absolutely terrified of you. So if I walk by, the ones I walked by yesterday, 2 or 3 of them just scurried off and back into the lake. But it can happen, and it has happened. So I get the anxiety around it. In saying all this, I am much more, I don't say the word skittish, I'm much more aware of my surroundings this time. Because again, I've swam in lakes like this, I've played in them from a little knee-high to a grasshopper kid, never gave it a second thought. I think about it a little more now, you know, it's one of those things that does live in my mind a little bit, that there are some massive reptiles sometimes just feet away from me. So all those folks who come to Florida, yes, it is a very rare instance where you will have a negative interaction with an alligator. Again, it's like most wildlife, enjoy it from afar. Don't approach it, keep your eyes open, don't mess with it, don't feed it. Typically you're gonna be okay. You know, it's just a little common sense goes a long way with most things like that. There's number 6. Little fellow's got his head popped up. So yeah, that's the pond we were just in right there. He's across the little trailway there. Just chilling, got his little head above water. That's 6. All right, I'm hoping we get to see one fully out on land. The sun is starting to set a little bit, so I don't know that we're gonna get that lucky. But it could happen. It definitely is a real possibility. But it is very beautiful back here. It's a very pretty property. That is the one thing I do really enjoy about this campground. It is really pretty here. Okay, that's a bigger one there. It's number 7, guys. We're on 7. Let me get you dialed in. It's right there. Yeah, it's a little bigger one. I think there actually is probably one right there too. I just saw the ripples and then bubbles. Usually that means there's something down there. Yeah, there's one there. It's 7. I'm only going to count the ones I actually put my eyes on. That little feller's letting us get closer. He's right down there on the edge of the water. Right there. He hasn't scurried off yet. He's a little guy. He's only a couple feet long. He's got his eyes open though. He's watching me. I guarantee you, if I took a couple more steps down that embankment, he would scurry off pretty quick. We're not going to do that. This is his home. I'm just visiting. I'm going to enjoy from afar. So they actually have a small water park here. They've got, you know, the big slide there. They've got like some splash pad areas. They've got like a little beach area over there. Unfortunately, it is not open at the moment. Again, new owners took ownership sometime in the past year, and I don't know that they're going to have it open for us. To be honest, I think it's a third event, a third one of these here. They've only had it open one time, and that was about midway through spring or through the month of March, because typically we'll stay in the month of March because it's honestly kind of a crazy value if you don't. Not really a crazy value. It's a terrible value if you don't. Yeah, so it's a terrible value if you don't stay the entire month the way they price it out. Anyway, so as far as I remember, only one time it's actually been open. The water park area has actually been open during our time here. And as one would imagine, the water is absolutely freezing. But here is the lazy river, and as you can tell, it is not exactly operable at the moment. Man, I sure wish it was, because it's warm. I mean, it hit the mid-80s today, as I said earlier. It is rather toasty, and that sun is very, very relentless. And you can see they got like little filtration pipes under there. Yeah, I wouldn't mind checking that out, but I don't know. They've been working on it. I think you can tell it. When I walked by a couple days ago, it was a much more mildewy and algae look, a lot of algae. So maybe they're gonna try to get it open. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long it takes to fill up that large of a, I don't know if you consider that even a pool, but that large of an aquatic attraction, I feel like would take a pretty good amount of time to fill up. So maybe if I update you guys if they do end up opening it. I probably will not. I probably will forego going down the slide, but the lazy river, to be honest with you, does not sound half bad right now. Here's the main office slash activity area slash camp store slash everything else, pretty much where all the administrative things and all that fun stuff happens. Look at this, they got a freaking killer whale over here. Little Shamu action there. You got a couple dolphins. Like the dolphins can double as a like a umbrella holder. Not that one there. That one's got a smooth bag, but this one over here's got something hanging out of its back. Yeah, you got to keep off the whale. No whaling in these parts. I do believe that is their mascot. Don't know if he has a name. Cheery, chipper-looking raccoon there. Trash panda, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, this is inside the building here. Look, at one time they probably had like a concession stand. You got the women's restroom, probably doubles as bathhouses in here. They got laundry over here. You got some coin-operated games for the kiddos or adults. Typical things. Look at them. Bench with some old rusty wheels holding it up. They did actually, in fact, start filling the pool up yesterday. Looks like they're still working on that. But then we should be able to get to use that. We should get to use that in the coming days, though. I don't think that'll happen pretty quick. Honestly, I'm sure it's absolutely freezing, but with this heat, I don't know if I'm going to complain too much. So we have made it to the section of the park where I-10, the cars are racing by. I mean, I-10 is not the busiest highway, or at least in this stretch of the state, but nonetheless, as you can probably hear, it definitely creates a good deal of road noise. So you can imagine, you know, these sites right here, it would be definitely a factor. Funny enough, our first time to this event, we were parked, I believe, one of those fifth wheels is sitting. That was right where we were parked, and honestly, this is where all the activity happens, right in this area here. They actually bring in this tent right here. It's like a gathering place. They got a stage in there, a bunch of chairs, things like that. So they hold some of the events and activities for the rally in here. Just that way, they have a nice common gathering place for folks to come and hang out. Yeah, they do it up. They got some professional lighting. They got an actual stage put over there. Different couple monitors. So this is their big event. This is their pinnacle, their premium event for full-time families, if you will. They got a relatively new, massive play system they put in a couple of years ago. This wasn't here the first year we were here. They've added this in I would say probably 2022, maybe somewhere around there, as I believe when they added that right there. Yeah, you can see a bunch of kids over there playing sports, playing basketball. That's pretty much what it is. There's a couple hundred kids here. From infants up to teenagers, you know. There's pretty much and everything in between. Got some nice, cute little miniature golf course here. That's typically a staple at most family campgrounds. I guess because it's a relatively inexpensive thing for them to build for folks, as an amenity for folks. I rarely visit a family tile campground that doesn't have miniature golf. Pretty much a staple at all of them. They do have a few cabins spread out around the grounds here. It's a very lovely park. I think the trees is what sells it for me. Especially as we spend so much time on the West Coast, to come somewhere that has so many beautiful trees is very refreshing. I do, even TTO, compared to TTO, the trees here, there's just a lot more of them. Yeah, many more of them. So I believe there are around 100 families here. I would say probably the main section of the actual campground sites are over in that area there. We were there also, that front row there, kind of in between those two cabins right there. The last time we were here, that's where we were. I much prefer where we are right now, to be honest with you. It worked out really good. If we do come to this event again, I'm probably, in all honesty, going to request that section I like my privacy, guys. I like my peace. You know, and our kids are at the age, you know, the first year we came, it was nice to be up front where all the happenings are. Because the kids were a lot smaller. You know, our old, you know, Ben was, what, 11, you know, and so the other two were substantially younger too. So being close to the kids was nice, you know, that we could sit outside and watch them play on the playground and pretty much do all the activities. And we're right there. So the kids obviously a lot older now, and really don't really care if we go or not. So they just kind of have free range here, and they do enjoy it. You know, even the boys have been coming out of the bus. Eli has made some new friends, which isn't always the easiest thing. Eli's a lot like me. He's very introverted, kind of struggles making friends, and even Eli has braved the social anxiety and has went out and made some friends, and that's cool. I'm proud of him. I know it's not something that comes natural to him or easy, and he's done a great job. So being back here around the lake has multiple perks, but for an antisocial guy like myself, it's not a bad location. Well, we have all but made it back. We've made the entire loop. Is that another gator? I don't know if you can see right there. If I pointed my camera down, you might be able to see. I can't tell. Definitely could be. It's probably one more. So we're going to call that 8. No, there's another one. Oh my God, right there, swimming across the lake. I know I'm not going to be able to get you close. Let me see if I can. My zoom will give me a little. And my editing software, I can get you a little more. But yeah, looks like a pretty big one, if I'm being honest with you. That's a good sized gator. Coming across there. Honestly, I haven't seen any on the bank around here though, which is good. That's definitely a good thing. Yeah, that's a pretty big one though. Yeah, she's rather large. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't actually know that one over here is a gator. That could just be like a piece of wood or some of that grass material. And here's our humble setup right here. I like our spot. I'm good with it. A little tight, you know, kind of in an inn here, and they're actually kind of sharing a bit of our site with the cabin there that's right in front of us. But I did set the boutique up, or the tent up, when we got here, and I believe actually Jen went in there today and set up the inside. So I thought this was a pretty good spot, honestly. I guess if we peek through real quick. Oh yeah, she's got it set up in there. She's got some clothes hanging. Go check in on her real quick. Tonight is mom's night, so you go check in and see if she's got her dancing shoes on yet. What's up, girlfriend? What you doing, Weezer? What you doing? You been napping? You're anywhere. It's nice and cool. She's got a good view too. I mean, she lays right there on the couch. She can keep an eye on the gators from her elevated couch here, catching some of that cool breeze. Oh, we were looking for you.
You were looking for me.
Went to see if you got your dancing shoes on yet.
Not yet. I have 15 minutes.
Well, I mean, you don't have to show. I purposely showed up late last night, and I still.
So you could like skedaddle out of there?
I did. I'm not a social guy.
I set the boutique up today. I went to yoga.
Well, I'm sure you're tired.
All the things.
You've went hard this week already.
Yeah, I gotta slow it down.
We saw 8 gators on our walk.
8?
8 gators. There's a ton of gators here.
8?
They're gonna have
Were they big?
Most were small. The one we just saw walking back was the largest one I've seen. Yeah, there's a lot of gators here. A ton of gators. I was gonna say, if you go around that pond, I wouldn't take the dogs around the path probably, because they could smell the dogs. Yeah, it's a lot of gators here.
But I mean, the water is shrinking, so I imagine like the gators don't really have anywhere to go. Holy crap.
Yeah, there's a lot of gators.
8 alligators.
8 alligators.
I haven't seen one. I have not seen
one. Have you not walked around the thing?
I have many times. I have not seen one alligator. Maybe they hide. I saw an otter. There's an otter in the lake.
No, there's a lot of alligators too. You better get your
you want to see the top of my outfit? Hang on.
Oh, that's not it.
This isn't the outfit.
We got the undressed version.
Actually, this is just like I don't know.
The topper. It's like the icing on the cake kind of thing.
Yeah, but I haven't felt, because I'm gonna be dancing.
Dancing queen,
yeah.
young and mean.
And I don't know. You'll have to tell me if But I don't want to be too hot.
It's not cool outside. It is rather warm.
Be dancing.
And it's already hot in that room because there's no AC in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is cute, but I think it's just going to be, like, when I'm dancing, it's going to be, woo!
You're going to wear your earth toners?
Yeah, but I'll probably take them off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to change.
Yeah, it is hot out there. It is warm.
Warm.
Little Chicky down there. What you doing, Chico?
Chicos! We had the parade of homes yesterday. Did you tell me the
I
parade
did
of homes
not. Yeah,
yesterday?
you entertained the guests. I sat outside.
At first, nobody was coming, and I was like, it's like 4:15, and like nobody's here. Started at 4. Well, at 4:30, the floodgates opened.
And she said they were lined up in here from the doorway all the way to the hallway. I kind of did that backwards, but you get the idea. All right, well, I'm gonna kick my shoes off. I gotta get dinner started here pretty soon. We are approaching
green chicken chili.
6 o'clock. We are doing green chicken chili.
All right, I'm gonna change into something comfortable.
The green chicken chili is about done. So I don't know about you guys. I grew up on red chili, or tomato-based chili. It wasn't until I went to Utah a few years ago. We stayed at a campground, and the owner of said campground did like a potluck for everybody, for all the guests. It was a relatively small campground, super cool guy, and he also, off topic, did he was a professional gunslinger. Obviously, he was shooting like caps, it was like real bullets, but it was very, and he would do a demonstration every night. It was awesome. But he did a potluck, and he did green chicken chili. I honestly didn't even know that I don't even think I knew it existed. So after I tried it, I loved it. So I've been making it for a few years now, and the kids absolutely love it. Like, it's one of their favorite things that I make. Jen, not so much. So it's one of those dishes that I tend to make when she is not around, or when she's got something else going on. She's at mom's night tonight. So green chicken chili it is. I'm going to dress my plate up here in just a minute. So of course, we're going to do a rice base, because that's just kind of what we do around these parts. Apparently I'm hungry. Add in our chili, or if I was in New Mexico, it would most definitely be chile. Some of that juice. Alright, and the one secret ingredient, or at least for me, not secret, but one of those things that really amplifies the taste of this, some Monterey Jack shredded cheese. There it is, folks. Yeah, I don't know that I ever had Monterey Jack cheese until I made this recipe. So I looked this recipe up, because, again, I'd never had this. I didn't grow up on this. Not something I'd ever made until I did have it in Utah. So I had to look up a recipe. Since then, I've kind of put my own variation and spin on it. But the recipe called for Monterey Jack cheese, and I'm glad it did, because it really adds, I don't know, it's fantastic. It's hot, too. Surface of the sun hot. I think that'll do the trick. Man, that's good. It's just such a unique flavor. I love the diced chiles. That's one thing I add more to mine than that original recipe I called for. Just do a couple little different things, add a few different seasonings I didn't call for. I had cumin, a little bit of paprika. I think the original called for a little bit of chili powder. I don't usually put that in there because, again, we don't do a lot of spice around here. So for a little bit of that smokiness, I typically add in a little paprika. But yeah, it's pretty dang good. Thank you all for joining me today. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate it. Yeah, it's good to be somewhere for a little while. To be honest, though, I missed the road. As you saw in my travel videos the last few days, the road's good for me. The road feels good, even when the struggles are present, which is often. when you're traveling, when you're on the road, when you're in a machine, a bus, an RV, a trailer, whatever the case may be, problems tend to find you, and it's just part of it. That's part of what's made me who I am today. But I do love it, and I do look forward to getting back on the road again. So we're here for the month of March. I mean, technically we're paid up to I think around the 28th or 29th. Again, I mentioned earlier, the deal with this rally is it's just almost silly not to buy the month for versus paying just for a week. You can for another $300 you can get the entire month, 3 more weeks. So yeah, it just kind of makes sense. And don't know again that we're going to stay the entire time. I'm thinking probably after 3 weeks we'll head out, so probably somewhere around the 23rd, somewhere around there. I think Molly's birthday's the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, maybe somewhere around there. But her birthday's the 22nd, and I know she wants us to be here with her friends and have a little party and stuff. So I get it, that's fine. But I am looking forward to that time when I can crank this thing up and head on out. That's just me. But that's what we're a family, and we're here for the kids. We're here for them to get out and have some interaction with their friends and have a good time. And that's okay. That's fine. I'll be on the road soon enough, headed west, and I am really, really looking forward to it. I imagine in the coming couple of weeks we'll be solidifying some more plans on where we're headed and when and all that stuff, and I'll definitely share that with you guys when I get it. Don't have a ton of stuff on the plan as far as adventures. I do have a couple coming out that I'm going to do, one in about a week or a week and a half, and a couple things coming up. But be a lot of around here. Let me know some ideas though. I could use some inspiration from you guys. If you made it this far in the video, you know me pretty well. You obviously stick around well. If you have any ideas for some videos, what do you like? What are other creators in a similar niche as myself or similar to myself? Like, what videos do they make that you enjoy watching? It's just, you guys give me a lot of good advice. You give me a lot of sometimes some direction to go in. So yeah, leave me some comments below of some ideas. Is it small towns? It's something I want to do because we're in a very remote area and there's a lot of small, just kind of almost forgotten small Florida towns up here. I wouldn't mind popping down to the coast, the Gulf Coast, the Panhandle part of the Gulf Coast, and checking out a few things. But yeah, I'd love to hear that if you could leave that for me below, guys. And yeah, appreciate you being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed this little video of our campground and all the reptiles we saw in the wild today. I enjoyed it myself. But be well, guys, and take care of yourselves and each other. And we will talk tomorrow. Bye for now.